All right, we have a question about election law violations investigated and prosecuted. I know when Kris Kobach was Secretary of State, he had the ability to do that. Is that still there? And are we investigating and who's doing it?
Yeah.
I know Kris has a few.
Thank you very much. So when Kris Kobach was our Secretary of State, he fought to get the authority for the Secretary of State's office to prosecute election crimes. And I'll explain to you why that's so important. I agree, it is very important that the Secretary of State have that ability. So if I am out knocking on doors and we have a law that says that somebody can only turn in 10 ballots that aren't their own, and I see some college kid with a milk crate with 100 ballots feeding them into the drop box, and I go to the clerk and I say, hey, this isn't an indictment of my clerk. I've got a great clerk in Leavenworth County, and all the ones I've met have been great. And I tell her, hey, this person just turned in 100 ballots that weren't their own. That's a violation of the law. She has to go to my county attorney. My county attorney is going to say, well, after I'm done with that murder that happened last year, and I'm done with that sexual assault case in the school, and I'm done with that carjacking, I'll get to your election crime, right? And they just never get to it. And you could go to the Attorney General, and Secretary of State went to the Attorney General with this violation of the law on non-citizen voting, and caught that guy in cold water, but the Attorney General had to do it because we don't have that capability of the Secretary of State's office anymore. So if I'm your Secretary of State, we are going to hire a prosecutor, and we are going to hire a law enforcement officer, and we are going to enforce our election law. Okay? That seems self-evident to me. It's required. And when Kris Kobach passed that law, of course, the legacy media did exactly what you're going to say. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Kris Kobach passed this law and hired this guy, and he only prosecuted 10 or a dozen or however many people. Yeah, because once you start prosecuting people stop breaking the law, right? The intent and the purpose and the reason that you enforce election law is as a deterrent to people breaking the law. If there's no investigation and there's no prosecution, why wouldn't somebody who's already engaged in the unethical practice of ballot harvesting go ahead and break the law too? Because they're not going to be prosecuted for it. And so that's my commitment to you. That's an important authority that the Secretary of State's office has, and I'm going to make sure that we exercise it.
All right.